Hey y'all, more real talk here. Let's talk more about the Abrahamic faiths, and right now I want to mainly just touch on Catholicism and whatnot. Let's go back to their rituals in Masonry and the ritual of the killing of the king. You know, let's touch on Lincoln again. You know, Lincoln straight up made it publicly known, and that he had said that the Catholics could all go to hell. The Pope at the time wrote a letter to Jefferson Davis recognizing him as the president of the Confederacy, recognizing the Confederacy, recognizing slavery, wanting to keep that going, people, just as they want to keep you a mind slave and not let you know the true teachings of Christ. But the true teachings of Christ will be known. So mote it be. Amen. Now let's fast forward a little bit to who they call the last account of Christ, being Hitler. And that explains what I had said in the previous video about this entire system that they've come up with. If you even look at the old electrical poles, it's a symbol of a cross. But anyways, the Pope at the time had written a letter to Hitler congratulating him on what all he was doing with the Ashkenazi Jews. Okay, so you know, Hitler didn't do it to all Jews, just a certain sect, and I myself have a fragment of that bloodline in me. And if you also look up female breast cancer victims, and possibly male breast cancer victims as well, most of them also have that trace of DNA in them as well. So yeah, they've been genetically doing that for a while. Let's see here. Also, you know, talking about the Catholic Church here, if you look at all the symbolism within the church, it's a Babylonian system. Even the Pope's hat, if you look at the side profile and compare him to the fishman of Babylon. You awake yet? You know, also know, Bob Marley even saying about, Babylon system being the vampire. You know, treading on the wine press for much too long. Yeah, Hitler found out. Hitler found out while he was in India and all that all the ties. They did all that archaeological stuff. They even did in Egypt. They also formed a sect of Islamic Nazis, and Saddam Hussein modeled part of his life over Hitler. I even have some posters of Saddam that I had accumulated while I was in Iraq, showing him holding the same type of Mauser, doing the same type of poses as Hitler. And then, of course, he was also Saddam was also rebuilding the Temple of Babylon. That's why we went into Kuwait and Iraq. What was it, back in the 90s? Biblical prophecies, people, they're all around. Call yourself a Christian, though Catholicism and whatnot is what it brought your modern day Christianity. You may have your certain sects that broke off, and most of your different denominations were started by Masons. That's one of the things that Master Mason gets to do. They get to go off and start their own church. Ron R.L. Hubbard, Joseph Smith of the Mormon Church, all Master Masons. So know where your book comes from. They allowed it to be written in there. Whatever is done in darkness will come to the light. Hello. Once again, they try to say that Lucifer's the Christ. No. Nice little sneaky one, though. Once again, they worship Lucifer, and they're trying to make a legion to, go against God. And God knows what they're trying to do, and it's not going to work. Just letting y'all know. You can't keep building off of lies, people. And then even then, you want to try to do away with religion entirely. That's not going to happen. You want to only keep it for yourselves and keep everyone else dumb, like, way back in ancient times. It's not going to happen. God will keep sending messengers to reveal these things. You just can't stop it. Let's talk about Islam, people. Islam was started by the Catholic Church, by the Jesuits, and then look what Jesuit Pope is doing right now to the Catholic Church. They're bringing Islam in. None of it's the true teachings. The closest you're gonna get is look at the two cultures that didn't go down during the Crusades or the Inquisitions or anything like that. China, India. It wasn't until the British Empire went into India, and then went into part of China, and then they had accumulated Hong Kong there for a while. So yeah, folks, just more real talk. I personally believe in a creator that created it all. Nameless, shapeless, formless, sexless. Many have come, as messengers, as prophets, as you want to call them. In the book of Thomas, it asks if they ask where you come from, say that we come from the light. We come from the kingdom of heaven. So, and they put in there, when 2 or more come in his name. So why do you feel compelled to go into a building and, he never called his people Christians. They say in the Bible that he called them Gentiles. Maybe Gnostics, Gnosis, those who knew. But, you can go run back to your churches and your synagogues and everything else and, ask your rabbis and ask your pastors. They're not going to tell you. It's alright, they'll be punished in their next lives for withholding the truth. Once again, I've already seen it for myself. I've seen the mysterious ways that God works, the silent mysteries. I've seen them. God is great. So, I personally don't believe in destroying all the history and all that. I mean, it should be preserved for public knowledge. Because as they say, history repeats itself unless we learn from the mistakes. Same thing that they, that's karma right there. Things are doomed to repeat until you learn, the whole Vedic teachings of the, of karma and all those ancient teachings of the East, and, Dharma, karma, kind of sound alike, don't they? One's Buddhist, one's Hindu. Real talk, people. Know the gods and know thyself, right? But once again, even in a polytheistic religion, there's still one creator. There's still a Godhead to it all. Video's running a little long on this one, but well worth the words. All the true teachings will come out, people. All the true teachings. As always, I love you all. Peace be upon you all. And namaste.